In the den of iniquity, vicinity no pretty, calamity fi hit we any moment, what a pity. Tomorrow never certain, what was behind the curtain, the face of evil smirking with that shifty eyes averting. It's not a steady bubble, that either pop or topple, many will fall and stumble, let the dozers gather rubble. From LA to Colorado, Guinea to Burkina Faso, cannons will breach the towers and the troops will storm the castle. Hey, I say, run, come, make we get it. Because the peace that is bestowed upon the meek is overrated. So run, come, make we get it. Calling all your daughters and your sons, we come forget it. I say, run, come, make we get it. Because the peace that is bestowed upon the meek is overrated. Lord, run, come, make we get it. Calling all your daughters and your sons, we come forget it. With the rubble steady rising, and hearts are compromising. Convictions here are stifling, making evil appetizing. The fists are steady forming, and countenance is falling. Defenses are withdrawing, possibilities are falling. In these your circumstances, evil will make advances. Pick up your sword and lances, and be sure to take your stances. Victory is never promised, the battle is upon us. Gather the brave and honest, and the righteous in your corners.
Run, come, make we get it. Because the peace that is welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Case Closed. Yes, that's the weekly panel show that shows up here and there in several channels, Solo TV 84, my channel, Dr. Thunder's channel, wherever we may be, but it is 4 p.m. Am I right? 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Every Sunday you can find us here, and we have a jam-packed show. Let me go ahead and apologize ahead of time. I am not in my regular location. Yes, I'm still in Africa, but I'm not even in my Africa base. I'm in another spot. So I only have a laptop, my super chat, and all those other kinds of things, and typing and all that kind of stuff. The show running is not going to be up to par, up to the quality that you may be used to, but let me apologize up front. Dr. Thunder is going to help us out with that. So, as I said, we have a jam-packed show, and we're going to jump right into it. We all know about the hot sauce situation, okay? But because we have a panel, a rather vibrant and vivacious, vituperous panel today of some people that have not been here with us before, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, ladies?
I'll go. Hey, everybody. Nice to see y'all. Lauren Melissa. You can find me on YouTube, Lauren Melissa. But I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Lauren Melissa. Find her on YouTube. And the other lovely lady.
You can hear me clear?
We can.
Yes.
Okay. The Real Dana. So I'm on YouTube as well. You could go to The Real Dana and find me on YouTube. I think I've been on YouTube 4 years now. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you very much. Y'all know LAR, y'all know Ramee, and Dr. Thunder, okay? Y'all know what it is. Can you check your mic real quick, Ramee? Let's see.
Yeah, am I good? Testing.
You're good. I know Dr. Thunder's good. He's in the middle of a studio over there in an underground bunker, fully wired and everything. He's off the grid. He's got his own power plant and everything. So we're ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off with this. Now, in case there may be some that don't know exactly what this hot sauce gate is, whatever the situation may be, let me just break it down in 3 sentences, okay? 3 simple sentences. Sentence number 1, consensual sex was had by Drake and a lady, okay? Sentence number 2, after this consensual sex was had, Drake went into the restroom, got rid of the condom, and in order to get rid of the DNA, let's say, he put some hot sauce inside, okay? Mixed up the contents on the inside with some hot sauce, and he put it in the trash can. Sentence number 3, the lady goes into the restroom, fishes out the condom, and takes out the contents in the inside, and she gets hot sauced, right? She gets burned, and then there are complaints from her part, and she wants to sue. There's been reactions, people chiming in. There's a legal aspect. there is a moral aspect, there is an ethical aspect. Let's begin with this. I want to start like this, okay? We're going to start with LAR, okay? And then the lovely ladies go into Ramil and then to Dr. Thunder. So we're going to start with LAR and we're going to go in a clockwise fashion, okay? So, did Drake do anything wrong? Now, this is not taking anything away from what the lady did, okay? Let me make that clear. This has nothing to do with what they did. This is about us examining and trying to learn from the situation, because after all, he doesn't seem to be in a great situation right now. So is there anything that he could have done differently to escape this? Again, you might say it's in the legal territory. In the legal territory, things are technical. You follow technicalities. That's why you have lawyers. It doesn't have anything to do with ethics or morals, okay? So you can say, hey, he did something wrong, and try to put it in some category. Say, he didn't do anything wrong legally. He didn't do anything wrong morally, but I think he was an uncouth, uncivilized bastard, or he made this particular mistake, whatever it may be. LAR, take us off. Did Drake do anything wrong?
No. One of those my body, my choice type of things in reverse. I mean, he was anticipating if something would have happened, he covered his butt. So it's his DNA, so he should be able to do whatever with it that he wants. If he's not, and that was his issue. People have had that stuff happen before where they got turkey basted before. So it's one, and that might be his normal routine. And this just happens to be somebody who took up on it could be a trap if you take up on it, but if you got to get it out the trash, you went looking for it. Now, he should have probably just flushed it down the toilet like normal people do.
Okay.
That's my issue.
Okay. So you're saying you think that there was something a little bit malicious, like he was trying to get somebody, like, I'm gonna get you, gotcha, bitch.
No, it's what it's kind of like. If anybody has a house or whatever, they tell you can't put like booby traps on your fence if you tired of people like hopping the gate. They'll sue you for that but you shouldn't have hopped the gate. You get what I'm saying? So, but it's a little different because it's DNA. It's like, hey man, that's his stuff. Like, yeah, swiper, no swipey.
So there's a gray area in the legal category, and then in the category of perhaps not being so smart or maybe being a little bit malicious, maybe there's another gray area there as well. So, Dana, if I got that name correct, if not, so okay. What did Drake do wrong? Again, it could be legal, okay, which is a technicality. It could be ethical, or it could be moral. It could be even in the realm of etiquette. Whatever you may think. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to say alleged because I'm not trying to have nobody pull me in no type of deposition. What's going on right now in these YouTube streets and the courts?
Good one.
And we don't know if that actually happened. If he didn't say he did. The only thing he said was people do anything for clout. So we don't know if Drake actually did it. That's what she's saying. So with that said, I'm going to say alleged. If he allegedly put the hot sauce on the condom, I mean, that's a little bit of a reach because you have hot sauce in your bathroom. Why didn't you just flush it down the toilet? I don't even think he put a hot sauce on it. I just think the whole thing was just made up. Now, as far as men doing things, the whole concept of men, getting rid of the condom and stuff, yeah, you should flush it because it's completely gone. You should get up, take it off, and flush it. Don't have her do it. But the hot sauce is too much of a reach. Too much.
One quick thing there, Dana. I've heard some people say that you're not supposed to flush condoms. There are many things you're not supposed to flush, and they say that condoms is one of those. Is that true, or have you heard that?
I don't know, but if it's for the purpose that your toilet may back up, I'm pretty sure he could afford an excellent plumber. I think his plumbing situation is probably far superior from ours. So, yeah. Or he could give it to his bodyguard to dispose of it, but just flush it down the toilet. I don't think he actually have hot sauce in his bathroom and putting it on a condom, thinking that that means that you had the situation before with women.
I see.
Allegedly, I also heard he don't like to use condoms. Allegedly, so.
Okay, Lauren, what you got for us? What did Drake do wrong? LAR has called some, shall we say, he's kind of put some skepticism as to his intentions, and maybe he's been a little bit malicious. Dana said, hey, maybe none of this even happened. Allegedly, because all he has said so far is people will do anything for clout. Why did he have hot sauce there and all this kind of stuff? Blah, blah, blah. What did Drake do wrong, if anything, in your view?
I don't think Drake did anything wrong. I mean, people have a choice to flush it, put it in a trash can, whatever. Now, if he didn't put anything in there, then she would have popped up pregnant. Then we would have been like, oh, he didn't, kill the semen properly. Like then he would have did something wrong. But I think he did. He learned from his mistakes. If he had any slip ups in the past, it's one thing to have something happen and not learn from it. So it sounds like it's happened before, and he's like, I got something for that, and it's a solution. And I don't know if I'm surprised that people just have hot sauce with them. I mean, Beyonce said it best: you get hot sauce in your bag, like keep it there. And so that applied for men and women, like. So I don't think he did anything wrong. Her bad.
All right. Okay, Ramil, is Drake here an example of a responsible pump and dump, or did he slip up? Did he slip up on the tenets that you preach, sir? Did he do anything wrong, Ramil?
This is a textbook pump and dump, classic pump and dump. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything illegal. If anything, the legal scale should apply to her and what she was trying to do. Because this is just another instance of this modern day society where females just want to cry about everything, be a victim about everything. And now I looked at the articles. People are trying to paint Drake as the bad guy when she's actually the bad guy. All right, sperm theft happens all the time in this country, and there's no repercussions. Now, that's his DNA, like LAR said. It came from his body. That's his. So if he can get rid of it however he want to get rid of it. If you want to pour hot sauce on it, if you want to light it on fire, if you want to do whatever, he can do whatever he wants. It's his. It's his nut. Like it's crazy how far we come in society where your nut is not even yours no more. Like your nut belongs to somebody else. Like what world are we living in? So, like, he did nothing wrong, but then this current society of feminism and all this BS, which guys acquiesce to like a bitch, this is what we get. We get females get to cry about stuff and make men the bad guy for instance when she's actually the bad person.
Yes, flipping the table, okay? And that is definitely apt. And that's why I said in the beginning, not taking anything away from what she did. We're trying to see if there's anything to learn here. But you say that this is textbook, classic, nothing wrong. This is exactly how you should do it. He is a champion of yours and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, good. Like it. Now, before you go and give us your opinion, Dr. Thunder, how about you read some of this, give a shout out to some of these super stickers and super chats, because I'm not able to read or do anything.
Oh, yeah. So we've got J Bones with a 99-cent super sticker.
Right.
Oh, yeah. We've got Dottie Girl with a $2. What is this? A $2 belated Happy New Year, Ike. What is that? Is that a Frank? Or I'm not sure. And then Taboo Smash with the $4.99. Looks like a super sticker also. Thank you very much, all.
That's Dottie Girl or Dottie Gal if you're from the islands. So, Dr. Thunder, okay? Not taking anything away from what she did. Is there something here legally, ethically, morally, etiquette-wise that we can say, hey, you slipped up there, homie. You did that wrong. Anything.
Okay, so from a practical perspective, so it's okay. So one of the issues is that it turns out that hot sauce is not a particularly effective killer. It's not an effective spermicide. So that's one of the issues. The second issue is flushing would have been the most secure, safest way to protect oneself. However, I will say that he did nothing wrong. If this actually transpired, so he did nothing wrong. It's sort of like the principle of a junkyard dog. So you have a dog that is inside a fenced area because the owner of the junkyard has gotten tired of people getting in there and stealing stuff that's of value. And so the junkyard dog is in there patrolling. Now, if you jump in there, it clearly says no trespassing. If you jump in there and you get handled by this dog, do you get to turn around and sue the owner? I think the answer to that is no. That's why it said beware of dog. It said, no trespassing. And you were in there actually trying to steal stuff that did not belong to you, right? It's also not unlike the idea of locking the door of your house, as you're about to go to bed, right? So if somebody comes to your house, clearly the door is locked, okay? They break in the house anyway. Now, I have a 357 Magnum and a 20 gauge pump shotgun. So if you come in my house at night, you're going to be in serious trouble. But if you end up getting shot because you broke in my house, yeah. So in my estimation, it's a similar scenario. And I know there's some gray area as to when you can shoot someone and when you're not allowed to shoot them and what you have to yell out before you shoot them and all of that kind of stuff. But with the 20 gauge pump, when you cock that, any crook that would be breaking in your house, they know what that is. And they probably are going to get out of there. So anyhow, my point is no, I don't think he did anything wrong. I think you're allowed to protect your own property. And if you get hurt because you try to blast through the protection, then that's on you.
Okay. So Dr. Thunder, you have stayed mainly within the realm of the legal technicalities. However, I recall, and I'm no legal expert, but I saw some article. And LAR, our friend LAR, brought it up. He was the first to speak on this matter. He said something about booby traps. You see, the dog apparently is not a booby trap. That's an interesting point that you bring up, and I don't know how the dog thing would apply here, because there is no booby traps allowed in the United States law out there. Apparently, you cannot booby trap something, right? You cannot booby trap anybody. So, LAR, let me ask you this. Could you expand a little bit if you know, and then anyone else can chime in on this booby trap law, because it's different from locking and so on and so forth. And the issue is this: Drake, because perhaps I should give my answer. I think that the only gray area here is in the legal domain. Now, we have to understand the law has nothing to do with ethics, etiquette, morality, or none of that. The law is a technicality. Okay. If you don't like it, you change the words on the page, right? Okay. And that's why you have lawyers to play the technical dance. Basically, if Drake keeps his mouth shut, which he has done so far, and doesn't say something like, oh yeah, I knew she was going to go there, or she might go in there, so I put the hot sauce in there so I can hot sauce that beat, or something like that, right? If he doesn't say that, then it's like, you know what? I was disposing of it. You can't flush it because I'm an environmentalist. And also,
say it, what's the legal?
Even if he does say it,
what's the legal part, brother?
Go ahead.
No, I'm asking. What's the legal part?
Go ahead,
What's
Ramil.
the legal? No. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. I was just asking what legal technicality you're saying this illegal. Even if he says, I don't understand what law or legal technicality can be applied to this.
It's more of it's kind of 2 steps behind whether or not you get guilty of this booby trap thing. But the 2 steps behind that I'm talking about is just keep your mouth shut, never talk to the police, never say anything. We all know that, right? Anything you say can or will be used against you. And in this case, it's kind of proven intent. LAR, what's that booby trap thing you mentioned? And that, again, that is the question. As I started, I was like, okay, not a legal expert, but I've heard this booby trap thing now twice. LAR, what were you referring to? What law is it? Is it, you mentioned that it's a sue thing, right? So is it in the criminal side of things, or is it in the civil side of things?
It's civil. Here's the thing.
Civil.
It's a crime because it's a celebrity and he got money. That's how it's a crime. It's like when you pick a fight with a celebrity and you get punched in the face after you pick the fight, and then you go, "Ah, my eye," the damages. It's the same thing. So, you know, he hot sauced his own stuff, and you know, she caught a hot one. So the damages she wants to be rewarded for. Now the question is, are you willing to, when you're doing this stuff, like, look, okay, maybe I'll have to pay a person $100,000. Would I rather do that or pay a person child support? So you'll take it because there's a lawyer somewhere that's going to take the case for sure. There's a judge somewhere that will say, you know what, because you're rich and you're famous, this is the only payday this person may ever have in life. So you owe them something for them doing something they shouldn't have done because you got money. This is America. This is how it works. You know, it's a civil suit. It's a stupid civil suit, but people have got money for less. So
most civil suits are stupid in the United States. It's a litigious society. There are many reasons why people sue, most of which are stupid. Now, Ramil, do you still have any pushback in terms of not saying anything because you could be sued? So don't even say, I thought she was going to put it in there. Say that, you know, whether it's hard, this is a procedure that I use for disposal. It was disposal, right? Is there any sense to that, Ramil?
I mean, it don't matter. It's his nut. I understand we in the United States and we in America and everybody wants to sue everybody, but I don't think there is a judge in America that will award her for this case right here. I know people sue for they spill hot coffee, but she literally went to get his property and she had malicious intent. If anything, he can countersue because she was trying to steal resources. She was stealing resources from him. So I don't think this is one. I don't think no judge with common sense will rule in her favor.
I was just gonna say, like, this is if it does go anywhere, it's gonna go straight to TV court. Like, because I mean, who's gonna waste their time to hear this in a federal however high she decides to take it? It's what the judge is gonna say, ma'am. Why did you do it? Like, I mean, it's going to be a waste of time, taxpayers' money for what, ma'am? Just admit that you were trying to get over. You was trying to come up, a quick come up, and it backfired. And just take the L and walk away.
Take the L and walk away. So, Dana, do you have anything to say about this legal aspect? Yes, he can be sued. Should he keep his mouth shut, or should he go in there like Ramil, guns blazing, saying, "Hey, I don't give a damn. I'm going to countersue. It's my nut." Well, what do you have to say, Dana?
The alleged countersuit, the legal aspect, allegedly, because this is all make believe. Well, this is the thing. He has to know with his celebrity status and where he's at in his career and how famous he is, that he can't casually have sex anymore. So, like, literally, like someone like Bow Wow, I remember him saying in an interview, when women come to his house, they have to sign whatever paper, they have to give their cell phones to his security guard, and rightfully so. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Drake have women sign papers when they come on his property or wherever they're going to have sex at, but he can't have sex like regular people like us. So as far as legal, it's like, yeah, I mean, you could sue anybody for anything. So she has a case. Will he countersue? Will he say, let me just settle? Because once you go to court, a lot of things could be made public. So then she's going to have an opportunity to air out their courtship. And it's not a relationship, how they met, what he does in bed, and he may not want that privacy to be revealed. So people got to take that into consideration. When you go to court, a lot of stuff is made public, and he's a public person. So he may say, let me just he probably won't throw $100,000, probably $50K or $25K at her. And just for her to shut up and have her sign a paper, she can never talk about it again. Or he just give her the middle finger, but like, you can't sue me. You can't do anything because technically, not even technically, you going through my things in my home, whether it's my garbage, whether it's my dresser drawer, closet, that's trespassing when you roam through people's stuff. So it's really his discretion, you know? But I don't think he's not going to countersue, and he wouldn't even let it go that far, it going to court.
I see. Yeah, you've really kind of dug a little deep into the legal aspect here. Basically, you're thinking he's going to hit her with the Trump, and then she won't come back until maybe when Drake runs for president, and then, all bets are off, right? And then she can come back with a story, to hell with the non-disclosure of wherever it is they signed. Now, Dana brought up something which is important here. She said regular people versus celebrities. And in a certain sense, it's not about money. It's also about fame and being in the public eye, right? So unless you, A, have money, and then B and C, both are in the public eye and are a celebrity whose money depends on a certain kind of image and you can be smeared and all that kind of stuff. How exactly does this actually relate to regular people, okay, who don't have these three attributes that I just described, right? So if we start with Lauren and we go clockwise again, back to Dana, right? What does this have to do with regular people? Is this just another thing for people to gossip? Shout out to Mr. Fantastic. He talks about he got sperm jacked, allegedly. Thanks, Dana. Allegedly, and so it does affect regular people as well. But perhaps let's see, is this just a case where people are just talking about what happened over there with the people whose life has nothing to do with ours and what doesn't look anything like ours, or is there something to be learned here by the regular folks, beginning with Lauren, please?
I mean, I think what you're seeing is conversations are happening around this is accountability conversations, like who's held accountable. And then two, like celebrities are influencers. Like whatever Drake does, it, like to LAR's point and to Ramil's point, like men have been doing stuff like this forever. Hot sauce just happened to be in the forefront. So like this just is going to be another thing that people are going to use, another tactic, another thing. I was just on Instagram today and somebody posted, hot sauce as a joke or whatever. Like, so it regular people have to do with this because like they're going to be influenced by it. And finally calling out women. Like, so now here we have a prime example of a woman doing this and then trying to play victim. So no, people are just going to call women out. I think that that's what this situation did, was just highlight, women playing the victim when they're actually the ones in the wrong. And then men just getting the okay. Like they already had a green light, but this is just like, oh, we doing it now. Drake did it. It's we here. Hot sauce everywhere. Like, we're incorporating hot sauce everywhere. Exactly.
Invest in hot sauce, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be in every bathroom coming soon. So, Ramil, okay, does this have anything to do with regular people? Besides the fact that, it's a good topic, it's a good thing to highlight. I think that Lauren pointed out that it's a fuel for conversation in the sense that celebrities are influencers, and there are a lot of conversations now having surrounding the whole accountability thing, right? And we could talk about media coverage and all those other kinds of things. But are there any thoughts as to what a regular person can learn from this, take away from this, or whatever, Ramil?
Well, yeah, they can learn, especially the guys. It's a savage world out here, and you can't be out here playing soft. You can't be out here pillow talking. You can't be out here. I mean, you really can't, because any weakness you show is going to get exploited in today's world. So, what a man can learn is you got to stay cutthroat. When you're dealing with females, understand in today's world they don't like men for men, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta understand they're always looking for the bigger picture, the resources, or the. I mean, they do like men for men. A small percentage of them, but majority of the time they're trying to get those resources, and they're looking for the long term. While guys are usually the ones caught into the fairy tale Disney love thing. That's the guys right now. Females ain't on that. They're trying to get it how they live. So what the guys can learn, this is not just on a celebrity level. Females doing this every day, trying to get a baby out of somebody because that's their meal ticket. So that's what I think you can learn. Just got to be more savage out here, and this this is more of a case of a pump and dump to me.
Indeed. So this is a lesson to Dr. Thunder out there to quit the simping and the pillow talking and all that other
it'll be used against you, like that,
out there.
Like the police say, anything you say can be used against. That's the same thing with these chicks. When they see any weakness, you're done. That's just the world we live in today.
All right, Dr. Thunder, what are your thoughts as to how this applies to quote unquote regular folk?
I did a live stream on this whole take accountability, business, and I referenced this issue. Often is the case, I was commenting a bit on Kevin Samuels did a live stream where he brought up Drake, and he also brought up the rapper. Why am I spacing on his name? Everybody knows who I'm talking about. And so we were talking about this take accountability thing. One of the callers called in and said, "Hey, both of them, both are wrong." And his point, Kevin's point, was that by saying that both are wrong, you are sort of you're creating a false equivalency. You're making it seem as though both of them were equally at fault. And they went back and forth a while on that issue. And I thought, he wouldn't let her get away with, sort of continuing to say both are wrong, both are wrong. The whole taking accountability thing, I think that's probably mostly what we can get out of this. Who's taking accountability? Who's not taking accountability? What does that actually look like? Is it just a talking point?
Let me hold your feet to the fire a little bit, Dr. Thunder,
Sure.
Because I think the last phrase you just said encapsulates my pushback, which is this just a talking point? Now, Lauren mentioned already that it is a foil for conversation. So talking about accountability, okay, a cynical bastard like me is like, you can talk about accountability, you're blue in the face. People are going to do what they're going to do, okay? I do what I do, okay? As long as generally it's legal and sometimes moral, ethical. Yeah, it depends on which particular culture I'm in, right? Which profession I'm in. They have different ethics. So to say, accountability. Now, generally speaking, I am an accountable person. That's a different kind of thing, mainly personality, morals, and all that kind of stuff. But to talk about accountability as though, hey, I just watched Dr. Thunder stream, and some lady watching Dr. Thunder streams, you're like, you know what? I think I'm gonna start being more accountable.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Is that gonna happen, Dr. Thunder?
Well, the thing is, in general, if you learn how to be accountable, or you learn about accountability because you got caught doing something, I mean, obviously, then this is a moot issue. It's a moot point. That topic is probably wasted on you. And this is why the two words are common to accompany each other, and that's personal accountability, because it's not about what's happening. It's not about what other people are catching you do or watching you do or whatever. It's about your own personal integrity, your own value system, what you're going to do if, in the dark or in the light. Yep.
Can I say something
So
real quick?
go ahead.
As far as the accountability thing, this is one of the things I've seen in this space too. Y'all are never going to be able to hold women accountable. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen in this society. We have freedom. They can do whatever they want to do. And a lot of guys are literally having like fits because they can't hold women accountable. Like, what you need to do is
muscle spasms.
Exactly. You need to live your own life, become as best person as you can be, because a lot of guys, that's why I had to fall back a little bit, because guys are literally believing that if they keep on saying this rhetoric or they keep on doing this, one day women are going to be held accountable and they're going to come back to the table. No, they're not. They got freedom. They can do what they want. And I just think a lot of guys is in their feelings, man. You're not going to hold females accountable, period. I'm not talking to you, Dr. I'm just saying in general, as far as
yeah. No, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like what this whole purpose of all this stuff is. We're going to bring women back to the table. No, you're not. Because they live in their own life. They got freedom. And they're going to choose that over a man. That's just is what it is.
Hoes are winning.
Hoes winning. Exactly. That's Dr. Dunner said it, not me. Dunner said it, not me.
I could hear you thinking it.
I can hear you thinking it. Oh, man. LAR. So much has been said, LAR, and then we'll go to Dana and round out this particular topic, this particular aspect about what it has to do with regular people. What do you think it has to do with regular people, LAR?
Not a damn thing but voyeurism, but because everybody sees themselves as more important than they are. So, but can it happen to regular people? Yes. But in all honesty, if he didn't hot sauce the girl, he'd be PJ Washington. If he didn't hot sauce the girl, she'd be the next Brittany Renner. And people want to feel like, they're Drake and not PJ Washington. And ladies want to feel like, she could get a guy, and be the next IG Brittany Renner because she got a baby with a rapper. And people feel like, well, I rhymed in the 8th grade, so I'm a rapper too. So I'm successful. And here's the problem. Don't nobody care about you like that. Does that happen in real life? Yes. Because a lot of people, use children as a way to come up because they lazy. So you still got to protect yourself if you at least in the middle class. Personally, it's not an accountability talking point, kind of like we were saying. Women ain't just free, men free. We all free and full of it. So in an ideal world, I was hoping that Drake pays this lady $100,000 and she signs an agreement to never talk about it again. And he comes out with a hot sauce name, You Got It, Girl, and replays the song with Chris Brown, you know what I'm saying, as the commercial, and people go put it in a bathroom. So if you ever go in a man's bathroom, it's a little bottle like Drake Worst Behavior, just sitting there like, what's going down tonight, right? So he could have made his money back. But as far as society, because people ain't having sex like that.
Oh, another exactly.
On a regular basis to be in these, you know what? I'm not.
All right, Dana. What does this? Okay, so there are many things that have been said already, but everything from the legal, the ethical, and again the moral. What takeaways can the regular person, glean from this story, or is it all voyeurism, as LAR said?
You know how you put people as like the main person on the screen? Don't do that with me because my hair's not done. And I got like a little pimple mark right here. So I need to camouflage some stuff. Just a little FYI.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I mean, what did Fantastic say? He was somebody tried to catch his sperm. That's because they wanted them VA benefits. And Fantastic needs to just slow down and sit down. And I pointed him out because you mentioned his name. And regular people still have things, or regular men still have things that women want to obtain. So I'm singling out Fantastic because he does have VA benefits, and VA benefits are good. And yeah, and if let's say the woman got the sperm and got pregnant, and how is she going to benefit? So that's always going to be there in society, women obtaining something tangible by way of a man's sperm, which is, to me, I believe, why men could be somewhat narcissistic and arrogant, because this. So at the same time, because y'all have the golden product, you need to be careful about it. And as far as this Drake situation, I wouldn't even pay her $100K just for her to shut up, because you're not going to. It's extortion, and to me, that's no. For anything, I probably will pay her $10K. And the problem also with that is women just sometimes go by doing it all wrong, because you don't even have to blackmail him with the hot sauce thing, because that's basically what it is. You could have just asked him, can I get 25K? And he probably would have gave it to you because he has it. And then if he would have been like, no, get the F out of here, B, then you could use the hot sauce thing. But just to go straight to the hot sauce, and it's like you kind of make it bad for everybody else, right? And then you have like this big thing. So again, when we talk about celebrities and even regular people, men, period, women do that because you have something tangible that she wants. So whether it's a fantastic, it's like, yeah, be more careful. Or Drake, you definitely have to be more on a high alert, because people don't have morals, ethics, or values. It's all about them. They only focusing on them. Like, a lot of people are just selfish nowadays, and it's a money grab.
You're muted, Ike.
My bad. Inevitably, this happens at least once every stream. So, a money grab, a media frenzy for voyeuristic profit. So, on that note, regarding the media, okay, there have been many, shall we say, it's been featured in magazines and YouTube channels and things like that. And the only one that I've seen, okay, because this question basically is about the media, the coverage that you've seen and how you think it's being handled, and what we can learn from how it's being handled, or confirm, or want to rail about, or have muscle spasms about, as Lauren said. So basically, the one that I saw was about a 20-minute video, and the last 5 minutes of the video had the facts of the case. The first 15 minutes of the video were basically just smearing Drake in a very kind of totally sounded like I don't know the white lady name to use, but very happy-go-lucky ditzy kind of voice, just smearing Drake for the first 20 minutes. It's about the hot sauce thing, and then they're just going on widening the lens and having a narrative, okay, about how he's a misogynist because this is some kind of weird little loose, tenuous frame that they try to put out there, painting him as a misogynist. And then the last 5 minutes they say, oh, and then this hot sauce thing happened. Okay, what have you guys seen in the media that has popped out at you, either specifically or generally, and what can we say about it, vis-a-vis the current times that we live in, which Ramee keeps reminding us of? Beginning with Lauren, and we go to Ramee and go clockwise.
I mean, it's been a joke. It's been a butt of a joke. That's honestly what I've seen. I haven't, sat and watched videos or seen anything too deep about it. Of course, you're going to have people attacking Drake and his stance or view on women and all that stuff. But for the most part, all that I've seen is just it's jokes. No one's really taking it serious. To Dana's point, we would all argue that the story was even true because of hot sauce. Like, really, of all things, right? So, yeah, that's I don't necessarily have a take or a rundown of like, this is what I'm seeing, aside from everyone making a joke about it and really giving Drake his props. Like, Drake, my man, way to go. Like, you're really setting a precedent. Like, hot sauce it is. That's where we're going to now. We're no longer flushing. We're using hot sauce. So that's what I've seen.
All right, Ramil, what have you seen out there in the media landscape, and what do you have to say about it?
So I seen like stuff on Twitter and things like that, and it's like the guys are saying he's right, and a lot of females are saying he's wrong. You know what I mean? And it surprised me because, you know, this is just like textbook. This should be clearly defined. Who's in the right, who's in the wrong. But then I remember what time we're living in, and once again, I gotta say to guys that this ain't the time to mess around. The world shows you no mercy. In sperm theft cases, the guy still usually loses. All right, I think only one time he won. They still gonna give her child support. They still gonna give her all of that, and females is with it. They gonna back it up. There's no empathy or none of that. So once again, what I can say is to the guys, you have to be a savage out here. You got to be very strategic, and you can't be soft out here, man. Because once she steals that sperm, the court is going to give her that child support. That she ain't going to be held accountable. She ain't going to jail. Nothing's going to happen to her. She's going to live her best life off your money. Like, and these females,
winter isn't coming.
Yeah, there's no winter. I don't know where that. I hope niggas understand that now. There's no winter. Okay, there's no. The pandemic is going to make them come back on their knees and all that bullshit that niggas, it's not happening. These females out here got free reign. They don't got to be held accountable to nobody. And that just is what it is. Like, I don't know what's so hard for people to accept this. So you got to be savage. But guys out here, especially niggas, black men still want to be soft. Black men still want to treat women like they're these innocent angels when they're not. So, but yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing like a lot of guys are siding with Drake. A lot of females are siding with her, but that lets you know the time we living in.
I'm not seeing. I mean, I don't know. My feed must be with different women because I see women giving him his props, like giving him his props and like saying the girl is dumb. Like women, to Dana's point, like she did it all wrong. Finessers know how to finesse. This chick just didn't have the book. She doesn't know how to finesse. Like so, I think. Again, the women that I see is like she's dumb. She deserves what she got. I don't know why she didn't why she went this route and thinks she finna get something. So I'm seeing a different side of women, honestly.
Can I say something? Wait, can I?
Go ahead.
I thought that was like a one of those green screens backgrounds, but that's your actual place. You know how people have like the
Didn't I say that, Ike?
The virtual backgrounds. That's what I thought it was. I'm like, oh, he in an actual apartment. Okay, look nice. That was it.
Oh well, thank you. We don't do green screens over here on Ike's channel. We keep it fresh.
Mm-hmm.
But thank
that's
you.
To drop the peonies pad, honey.
I got hot sauce too in the right spots. So, Lauren, okay, let me ask you this, right? You're saying about the actual women that you see, and I think Ramil was making a certain kind of generalization, but I was asking about the media. So, what do you think is this disconnect here? Okay, because in the media, and I know perhaps a certain segment of the media, the mainstream media, there's always this knee-jerk reaction to start circling the wagon to protect the woman, and of course, because patriarchy and whatnot, how could she be wrong? After all, Drake is a man and he's guilty, right? So and I did notice this too when I see comments, because it's common sense, okay? What we've been saying so far, this is not rocket science, okay? It's common sense. I've been trying to make it sound a little more complex, talking about the legal side, the ethical side, the moral side, but it's generally common sense. So women have to really bend backwards to kind of say, oh, well, Drake was in the wrong. But in the media, okay, there's just knee-jerk reaction of start pulling out, woke talking points, starting with Lauren again, and then we'll have Ramil kind of revise his comment about what he's saying, regarding media versus people. Lauren, how do you square this difference between common sense and the media?
Well, I was going to say, I want to ask you, like, what headlines really stuck out to you? Like, this is a stretch, or because to me, the media is doing what they do. They want to get the hits, they want to get the clicks, they want to get the reads. They're gonna, if to your point, if protecting the woman is what they typically do. They're not going to do anything different, even if that's the right direction to go, like to be on the side of the man, because protecting the woman is what sells, gets the clicks, and everybody's like, yes, this Me Too movement, all of these things, they're not going to go in a different direction, even if it's right. So I think the media is doing what it does, and what it's been doing. That's my take on it. Should they be doing something different? Absolutely, because I have a different take. I don't think Drake did anything wrong. I think the chick was like, so if I was the writer and the editor, whatever, I would totally write it the way I see it. But that's not what's selling. That's not what gets the clicks.
Makes sense. It's right there to the commercial motive. So, Ramil, to reiterate or revise your point about, what the women are saying versus also what the media is saying, or any thoughts based on what the back and forth we just had?
Well, I mean, like, when it comes to the media, it's going to depend on which platform you go to. I was mainly talking about what I've seen on Twitter, but the media is if you go to a female space, a platform, they're going to obviously most likely side with her. If you go to a mostly men platform, well, I can't say they're going to side with men. They probably going to side with her too. So, but honestly, I haven't really, as I've seen a couple articles and stuff like this, the most I've seen on this was Twitter, which is people talking about it on Twitter. And just the fact that, once again, even she just said it, what's going to happen in the situation. If she was to do that and go through with it, she would have won her case. I don't think like she would have won 18 years of financial benefits from this man. So, I mean, it's crazy how people just don't care about that. You know what I mean? Like he literally would have been on the hook for 18 years. And once again, she gets nothing. You got females who do this, who sperm drag all the time. Once again, the case law goes in their favor, which is what really matters. They win those lawsuits. They win that child support. So,
but how much? But speaking of child support, I don't mean to cut in, but just using Drake as an example, I heard that his actual baby mama she's not getting child support from him because Drake on paper is not. Drake himself, the government name, is not worth all those millions. His money is tied up in corporations. So for him, he could say, I only make this amount, let's say $200,000 a year, right? So, or $100,000. So you got to calculate it from there. So if she probably thinks she's going to get $50,000 or $100,000 a month, he probably, no, you're not. So so it's like, okay, I'm not going to try and take you to court to get anything because what you going to give me out of your own will is better than what I came from. So my point with that is going back to men, being that you have the golden product, men have to learn to protect your assets so that you won't get railroaded through the courts.
Yeah, but Drake's paying child support. I guarantee Drake.
No, he's paying it. If you have to take care of your child, so it's support for the child, but he's not paying it through the courts. He's not paying it because he was obligated through a mediator through the court system on any type of level. They're not garnishing nothing. He said to her, and I'm just paraphrasing it, but basically, yes, I'll put you up in this nice house. I give you this allowance every month. You take care of my kid. I have access to my kid anytime I want, whatever. So he worked it out with her. So you're going to take that deal, or you're going to try and drag him through courts where he has lawyers and he has all of his money tied up in different companies that she can't touch.
I don't know if it's not. I mean, if it's not in the court. I mean, you might be right. I haven't studied.
And I'm saying that to say, men of certain status, right? It's harder to get money out of them if you become pregnant by them. Regular men, you could set it up to where, you don't have the millions like Drake, or you're not making $200,000 plus a year. But even if you're making $50,000, you could still, even if you're making $50,000, you could still set it up to where you control your assets. You control how much you're going to give, and how much and how much time you see
regular guys are paying more than rich guys. You saying
regular no. I'm saying no. I'm saying whether you're a millionaire or you're not, you could still control how much you're going to pay in child support so that you won't get railroaded.
Unless they pierce the corporate veil, which they will do if she puts a sob story. Dr. Dre, I'm pretty sure he has a lot of corporations and shell companies. They still hitting him on the head. Them courts will pierce those.
What do you mean? To his wife? To the wife?
Yes.
Yeah, but they've been married. They got married in the state of California. They've been married for 20 plus years.
Right.
So after 10 years, that's automatic. That's totally different. That's a marriage. And on top of that, what she wanted, she actually, he said that how much he had to give her? 50 million? No, 100 million. 50 million this year, 100 next year. That's like 100K. That's not a lot because she cannot touch none of the Apple, none of the Beats, none of his masters, and anything that he accumulating afterwards. So I mean, 100 million is a lot.
What are we saying here? Are you serious?
But she didn't get half of nothing.
She got a sizable.
She got a sizable, but that sizable is not putting a dent in his finances. He could wipe his ass.
That's why he didn't want to pay it. That's why he didn't want to pay it.
No, she wanted half. She tried to say there's no prenup.
What did he want to pay her?
He didn't want to pay her half.
As you know, so you saying I'm asking you what? How do you know? How do you know what he wanted? Did he want to pay her 100 million?
Remember, it came out during that case that she tried to say, "Oh, we signed a prenup and it was ripped up," and he was like, "No, we have a prenup. This is the prenup." And she said, "Oh, well, the original one, he ripped it up." So it was he.
So he wanted the judge in the prenup.
He wanted the prenup to be acknowledged. She was trying to get the prenup taken out of it.
And in that prenup, was there $100 million?
I don't know what was in the prenup.
I guarantee.
No, but it probably didn't have a dollar amount because it could have said, oh, she gets how much I made from this day forward, right? Say they got married 20 years ago. So his recordings from 20 years ago, how much is that worth now? It could be 100 million.
That's why he's suing her now.
Hey, Ike, let's handle some of these super chats. So J Bones, J Bones says, panel Ike, Big Bro, LAR, and Thunder salute. J Bones, $2 super chat. Also, we've got this rather generous $50 super chat by Kyodor, and he says, cheers. And then we also have, let's see here, one just came in. Okay, here it is. Jose Navarro. You see that one? Yes, Jose Navarro. That I'm Incorporated loophole that men think they have is nonsense. They go into discovery and find all your assets. Man. Like, men can't hide a damn thing.
Yo, they will find these courts are ruthless as fuck. They will find it. Whatever you got, all these shell companies, all that stuff you got. Are you gonna hide from child support? They will go in it. It's called piercing the corporate veil. They will literally do that. They don't care about no corporations or anything. That's why I'm saying it's just better to just like Dana was saying at first, just be careful from the jump because you're not gonna hide anything from people from the government who has way more resources. They're gonna find it. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys think that they're gonna get away with that, and they end up possibly getting implicated in crime for trying to hide assets or which. So I'm just saying, it's that corporate game is, be mindful when guys keep selling that dream that you're just gonna create a corporation and hide your assets. That's dangerous.
Okay.
I do think that.
And by the way,
I do think that there is.
I'll get to you in 1 second, Dr. Thunder. I wanted to
go ahead.
Acknowledge. Well, first, Kyodor. Yes, Kyodor. Thank you again for that $50 super chat. And I got your email. Okay, I got your email. Things are a little crazy right now. I'll be back in the States soon, so then we can set up a quick meeting. And before we get to you, Dr. Thunder, I mean, even if the child support situation, right, if it's just simply child support, even if Drake has a particular tight little thing that he's got, I don't know, is he Canadian? Even if he's got something going on we've already kind of proven. I think Dana and Lauren have already kind of proven, and everyone, that she's not the brightest bulb, right? So it's not like she had the game locked or that she knows what she's doing, anyways. But anyways, Dr. Thunder, with regards to the media and how it's been covered, what you've seen, okay, and you can take it all the way from Twitter to Vox or whatever, and what you have to say or what it says about our current situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that the mainstream media, and then places like Facebook, which tend to be very biased in a particular direction. I'm not surprised that they are sort of pro-woman in this sort of situation, and even in the supposed seeing this in a quote unquote balanced fashion, there's still this false equivalency that I was mentioning before. If you say both are wrong, what you're doing is creating a false equivalency. What you should say is, no, the woman was wrong. If you want to talk about any further issues, then you can say, yeah, maybe there were some other things that he could have done, but he has the right to do what he wants to do to his own genetic material. And matter of fact, it was thrown away.
Just on that point, because it's something that it's a particular kind of error that irks me personally a lot. So it's a simple thing, right? That's why, for example, I've been saying legal, ethical, then etiquette, and then moral, right? So people always mess up categories. Most people are stupid, right? We get that, average IQ is 100 and half of, most people are under that. So, hey, people are not bright. So me talking about categories, people's brains are already broken. But this idea of not being able to neatly package things and say, oh, okay, she is morally and ethically and blah, blah, wrong, but he may have made a mistake in this particular regard, blah, blah, blah. These categories are separate. This is what I'm saying. People find it difficult to do. But anyways, go ahead, Dr. Thunder.
Yeah. So, I mean, so I'm not surprised to see that. I think in the sort of red pill spaces, obviously there's a leaning in another kind of direction. It seems to be much more, almost like celebrating Drake, because see, we finally got one of these, these 304s. We finally got them. It's a little bit too much of that. So yeah, I mean, that's sort of my take. I did want to point out a sort of nuance with this, the child support business. So if both parties are wealthy, say if they're both stars, and then we hear that such and such got 100 million or whatever, both parties have money so that they can afford lawyers. That's different than if somebody that's broke is trying to get money from somebody that has money, because the person that has money has lawyers and can hold stuff up for long periods of time. The person that doesn't have money, but exactly doesn't have lawyers, and is you're going to be able to easily convince them to take this small payout after holding them up for 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years, however long. They're going to say, hey, I'll just take the money, right? So we really can't talk about those scenarios as if they are the same. They're not. So if you find out that such and such got 100 million from such and such hip hop artist or whatever, chances are that someone that's broke, that's trying to get some bread, they're not going to be able to get the same kind of money. And then, of course, the other thing that's different, is a different category, is, of course, if you're married, especially married beyond a certain number of years, in a state like California. So it's sort of apples and oranges with all these sort of scenarios. I just wanted to point that out.
So don't get married. Definitely don't get married in California. If you're going to be stupid enough to get married like me, do it over here in Ghana. Anyways, LAR, right? And don't even do it in the courts. Just do do the traditional thing. Hey, we could talk. We could talk. Anyways, LAR, media, and your reactions to how it's been covered.
Media is about narratives. So people have an issue with how this narrative is played out. I.e., Drake represents the dude that you used to friend zone because he wasn't really that dude, and you thought you was better than him, and he got older, and somehow he got successful and fly, and he started smashing a lot of people, and he started to be wanted, and now you feel like you could come back and get him, but now he hot saucing people because he like, nah, I ain't stupid, I ain't a sucker. So people are looking at the guy the hey big head guy like, damn, if Drake know, he probably know, and I can't call him back. So people are in their feelings about this because it's the narrative. There's always going to be a guy who comes to pick up the pieces for you after you are on some board. And there's always going to be the guy who, he was ugly. He was fat. He was short. He wasn't really pagging. He was awkward. And he did 13 push-ups, got some tattoos, got some bread now. And he looked better than the dude that you messing with now. So that's what the media narrative looks like to me watching it. One thing I just gonna add to this about what y'all talking about with Dr. Dre, California. Dr. Dre made out better than Harrison Ford. That's the win. It's still losing 100 million, but as Harrison Ford ain't he's like I ain't making no win. You know how much Harrison Ford lost in the 80s?
Yeah, but they're both L's.
Do you know how much Harrison Ford lost in the 80s?
Michael Douglas too.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's not a W when you lose 100 million. I don't understand this.
No, it's a W when the Bulls in their prime, when they 72-10, beat you by 10 when they was beating you by 30. You're making progress.
You still got an
L.
We too comfortable with people losing. It's not a W when you lose bread like that.
No. It's not a W. It's not a moral victory.
Is it a comfortable loss?
It's getting closer to fairness.
Right. Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Okay, marriage and divorce is like us and civil rights. We shall overcome someday, but not today. We're getting there. We made progress. We have a dream that one day we could divorce her and leave her with nothing. But today,
I'm not even that ruthless. Look, if a female stayed with you for 10 years, right, and she didn't work or anything, okay, then give her like a year to get on her feet, put up, set up for you. After that, but you're a grown adult. You know what I mean? Like 100, like giving away 20, 30, 40% of your net worth because she was in the house. That's just
wait a minute, Ramee.
10.
Wait, Ramee, you said if you with a woman living with her for 10 years and she didn't work, you just gonna give a woman a 1 year to get on her feet and you worth millions of dollars?
If you have it's time and money. So the amount of money you give her and the amount of time, a whole year in a bag, you a grown adult.
You worth millions. You Ramee worth millions. You want to say to a woman you've been with for 10 years, I'm gonna give you a year to get on your feet?
A year and that price, so a bag obviously too, right? So that should be done after that. So let's say Dr. Dre, let's say somebody working $100 million, right? And they had a wife, whatever. She was with her for 10 years. Okay, and he made the money. That's his money, and he was taking care of her for that 10 years. So she was already benefiting from that. If they divorce, give her like $1 or $2 million, and that's it. That should be it, because that's his money. He earned that.
Well, you said $1 to $2 million. That percentage is the percentage she got that equated $100 million out of his overall net worth.
No, I'm talking about from another example. If a guy was worth $100 million,
if you said a guy worth $100 million, give a 1 to 2. What is that? 1%, 2%?
Yeah, like one. Yeah, that's.
So how do you know that? So the $100 million could have been 1% of his.
That means he'll be worth like 10 billion. No, that's. If the 100 million was 1%,
I think his overall assets accumulate $1 billion.
But that's 10 billion, right? He had to be worth 10 billion for 1% to be 100 million. And on top of that, the court documents came out. He not even worked.
But they were married for 20 years and have 2 kids.
I got it though. I think I got it. I think I got it.
$100 million.
I think I got it. If you get married, this is what you do. If you're a man, you keep a ledger. And everything you bought for her, the whole marriage. So if you got a divorce and you have the end number at the bottom, right? So if Dr. Dre, if she said, I want $100 million, and Dre pulls out the ledger, look, I done spent $72 million on her in these 20 years. So could you take my 72 out of this 100 and we can give her this 20, it's 28. Like there you go. There you go. Because you didn't got a good 72.
And that judge gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna give her whatever she wants. Because you'll piss the judge off.
You can say, Judge, this is about proof. Judge, she got whatever she wants.
That's your wife.
Tiffany, Chanel, Gucci. I don't even pronounce this. It's some diamond.
You sound like Ike in a court with Tina Turner.
Look, you know what? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Dana. I got investments. I got houses. I got clothes. I ain't got no money in that, Dana.
Right. It's Ike Turner. You're gonna pull out Ike Turner.
And she ain't leaving with the name. My daddy blood on that too.
I work hard for that name.
No. The name stays with me.
And you
all right, Dana.
y'all are real generous, man. Even earlier, y'all was talking about Drake should pay her $100 grand, $10 grand. Why? Like, why are we so generous to these mischievous situations? Like, they should be.
Ramil, you're a businessman. Yeah. You wouldn't pay a person $100,000 and then have them not say anything ever again about it and come out with a hot sauce that you could promote and make $1 million off of.
Well, I'm just saying, like, okay, that's. If you talking about that, I'm still gonna pay her nothing. I would come out with the hot sauce without paying her.
No,
I'm not giving nobody shit.
That's not smart. It's not smart. It's not smart.
Yeah, yes, she's already talking. Look, females sign these non-disclosure agreements in this paperwork, and they still go talk. Tiger Woods, for example, they signed papers and got the money off of them. Now they're coming back out and trying to talk again. Like, y'all really trust a female to not talk because she signed something?
We trust that female to go to her mama house and see my hot sauce, Thanksgiving up, see my hot sauce, her girlfriend's house, see my hot sauce, her new boyfriend's house to see my hot sauce. I'm getting paid. You're gonna see me everywhere you go.
I'm not, because that opens the door. That opens the door for more people to try. Oh, she got $100K for that. I'm gonna try it too. Like,
and you're gonna be Drake. You're gonna be the new Drake spicy hot sauce chicken sandwich. It's gonna be hot sauce and chicken sandwiches around here. I'm gonna have 10 million.
Man,
right, they have a special deal at Popeye's Chicken.
I'm not giving you.
There you go.
Shit,
collaboration.
Y'all real generous.
That's right, collaboration with Popeye's Chicken.
But you know, this is why females keep doing that, because even if they get a little piece of money, it still incentivizes, right, for them to try you like that. So I don't want to incentivize it. Like, you know, you don't get nothing. You got to fight me for this. I will make her. You have to go sue me for this. We're going to place it on the court. Just like how 50 Cent doing Tierra Marie, right? And now she owes him money. You know, I'm ruthless.
But you said it earlier. You said it earlier. Women, finesses are gonna finesse. Women are gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yes.
Court or not. So money is to LAR's point. It could be a business move. It's a business move.
But Ramil don't have children. Ramil, you don't plan on having kids, do you?
Maybe in the future, one day.
Ramil ain't having kids. Ramil would never get married.
Now I'll never get married, but I might have a kid though.
Okay, Ramil is going to hire a woman to how you say it? Inseminate. You talking
about surrogate?
Artificial
inseminate. Yes. You're gonna hire a surrogate. You're the modern man. So you're going.
I might go the future route.
Men do this. That famous soccer, Cristiano Ronaldo, his first son for two sons, he hired a surrogate. So that but now he got kids by his girlfriend, but he hired a surrogate for his first 2 kids. Men do that now. So that's your route, because you in your world, you're never going to give a woman money. And that's
no, that's not that. I'm saying in my world, I'm not going to give a woman money for nothing or for doing me wrong. You know what I mean?
But like, just said a wife that had 2 kids and spent 20 years with Dre didn't deserve what she got.
No, not 100 million. No.
Birthed both of his kids, raised them.
That's not worth.
And was married to him for
Kept-
years. And
kept
then you
all his secrets.
No, she didn't keep a secret. She did him wrong.
So
she
you
stole money
contradicting
from him.
yourself, Ramil.
What
Come
did
on.
she-
Wait, hold on a
money.
second. Lauren, let me ask this. Let me ask this, because if I'm just coming from Mars and I listen to this conversation, it sounds like being married to this man is like prison. It's like being in some kind of place where there's toil and turmoil, and having this kid, which you wanted, right? Some random lady out there wants kids, and she wanted to raise them in a nice, comfortable neighborhood, driving her Benz back and forth. Like, it sounded like, oh, this is torture. I've been grinding, and I deserve so much. Why?
She benefited. That's what I said earlier.
Why does it sound like that?
She during the whole marriage.
I have the answer to this problem. I have the answer. Flat rate settlements.
Nah.
You come up. You come up. No. Hold up. You come up with the flat rate. So the flat rate is, it doesn't matter how much, the dude makes. Doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. It's the same rate, and you can come up. You can figure out what it is. If the person makes below a certain amount of money, then it can be, a smaller percentage of the total. But so there's your answer. So then that way, if someone hits the long ball and they're worth $1 billion, if the wife decides, okay, I'm getting out now, so I can get my, can I get my payout? Well, then the payout is just a flat rate, and it wouldn't have mattered if you hit the lotto or not.
Well, Dr. Thunder, I would counter that saying that there's no flat rate in the pension and 401k. I need half that, and I'm legally entitled to that if we marry. So flat rate alimony, okay, that is negotiable, but not flat rate with other assets.
Okay, well, how about this? And
I'll go with the alimony. I'll split it. I'll go half the flat rate alimony.
Bear with me.
No, you'll give me half of the pension and 401k and then flat rate alimony.
Bear with me, because I ain't ish about this. How about the premise is, if you're married to a guy, you deserve half because you was married to him, right? And you deserve money from his endeavors that even you probably didn't even participate in because you was married to him, right? Or his future endeavors. So you want half. No problem. Cool. I propose that you get half, and he gets half of your half, and he gets your future gains from the half of the half that you get. So you could, because he was married to you too. He didn't want to deal with your shenanigans too. You can't cook. You can't make macaroni and cheese. You got a bad attitude. You mess up all the cars. You weren't even a good mama no way.
No, and men are doing that. And who did that? Adele had to pay. She had to pay out.
Hello from the other side. That's what we trying to do to y'all now.
And did you hear her new album, Easy on Me? The lyrics, she left him. She didn't want to be married no more. He still wanted to be married. She had to pay him alimony. So men are asking for alimony.
No, that's reverse. What I'm saying is, he need to pay her half of the half that she gave him. And if he opens a business, he needs to pay the residuals from that business back to her, because he would never been rich if it wasn't for her. So wives need to.
No, he was already rich.
No. If you want to hit the streets and you want to be for the streets, you gonna pay me with everything you do. Pimping. You got your money, I need mine. On the 1st, on the 15th, for the rest of your life too.
I'm not marrying you, LAR. It's too confusing. It's too much.
Like, it ain't too much. You know how to count down. You know that money.
At least with Ramil, I know where I stand. I know where I stand with Ramil, but I'm going with Dr. Thunder.
Every time you buy 10 pieces, I get 5. You want Wingstop? You want barbecue?
Dana's out here negotiating.
This is why guys on the this is why in America, guys should literally, if you have a grandfather in, if you in the social media era, you should just avoid marriage, period. If legal marriage, state sanctioned marriage, because you put yourself in a real dangerous situation. I mean, everything you work for can literally go down the drain. I just cannot, man.
But if you going into it thinking that, you just shouldn't be married. So I agree. If you're saying if you have fears like this young man here, don't get married. But if you are like, who goes into marriage thinking that you finna be, wrung dry? Like nobody.
Yes,
nobody.
Look,
the man just don't get married. Don't.
Yeah, you should not. Men should not be getting married in America. That's because the history and the legal precedent shows that once you get married, you're putting yourself in a position in the lower position. You're the subordinate. So anytime she wants to leave you and take your stuff, even you left the toilet seat up, I want to leave. You're at her whim for your whole life. A man shouldn't be living his life like that, walking on eggshells, worrying about emotionally upsetting somebody so he's gonna lose his stuff. He can just be peaceful or go to another country. Like I can go somewhere else and do it. I'm talking about in America. Any man gets married in America right now in the social media age. You're goofy. That's how I look at it.
I'm gonna tell y'all where y'all messed up as women. See, when y'all started, being threesome thoughts with the alimony because you didn't want to actually marry the next man because you knew the money was gonna cut off. That's where y'all messed up. That's where y'all you want to be free, but you still want them pockets. So I need my money. Look,
but we didn't come up with that rule. That was the courts. So you can't blame the women. The women didn't come up with that rule.
I'm gonna have to agree with her, LAR. It's the men who pass these laws. That's the thing that kills me. It's the men who in the legislative passing these laws because they worry about their daughters in that lane.
Hold on. Forget both of y'all because they were under duress. Their wives wasn't giving them none, and they were under duress. All these laws need to be thrown out. Forget all that. Y'all want to go to reality route. I'm gonna be an internet person and be on some bullshit today, okay? Forget all that.
I'm not going to put your business out there, LAR, but you just need to be quiet on this topic.
Okay, seriously, I'll be serious about it. Here's the problem. We live in a country where there's only probably about 5 states that'll be fair to you in divorce for men. So you got 45 other states that guys really shouldn't get married in because they have no protections. And on top of that, you got ladies entering marriages because, let's be honest, they just want a settlement package because they don't want to work. That's the goal. Get with a guy, don't work. I'm strong and independent until I find a guy that makes me not work, and then I could get a couple years in, bounce on him, and get half of his retirement from a job he had before he met your lazy behind. This becomes a problem.
So can I ask the men on the panel, do y'all plan on having a prenup when you get married, or if you are already married, do you have a prenup or a post prenup?
Well, I'm married. I've been married for 14. Well, it'll be 14 years on Wednesday.
Okay.
No prenup or anything like that. I will say that I think though the laws were pretty funky when I got married, just like they are now, I wouldn't say that it's gotten worse since then. What has gotten worse is the sort of general state of the dating market, and with social media and everything. When I got married, to give you an idea, I taught my wife how to text message. So that was right at the beginning of how things have changed significantly. If I had to do it again, so for instance, if I was single today, then much of what Ramee has said, I totally agree with. I would probably be trying to do like a private ceremony or something. That's not because I have a distrust for my spouse. It's because there are not a whole lot of women like my spouse. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, for me, it's yes and yes and yes. So yes, I'm married. Yes, it's in a different country and, not in a court and all that kind of stuff, and prenup. And not because I don't go into things with, I'm an entrepreneur type. Okay. Like I take risks. That's just what I do. So it's not a question of being afraid, trying to walk on eggshells kind of shit. Like if shit hits the fan, shit hits the fan. I'll go back out there and I'll keep moving. I'll keep pushing. I'll make more. Whatever, right? So, but however, people are, for the most part, operate under a set of incentives, structures, right? That's just how it is. Shout out to Jordan Peterson. It wasn't monsters that worked in those concentration camps. It's just people living under a certain set of incentives, right? So it's not like saying, and we know this about human beings, right? Let's not get all like, oh, but this one is everyone's a special little snowflakes. Like, no, when people get funneled in a particular direction, they tend to go there. So that's why I did what I did.
Human nature is exactly. Once again, we just stop thinking, especially you black men out here, especially in this quote unquote little space. Stop thinking women are going to be nice to you. Everybody wants to talk about, oh yeah, women initiate 80% of divorces, right? This has been a talking point, but people still talking about, but let's find a way to keep getting married legally. But you don't have another route. Like Dr. Thunder was married before social media. I went to another country. But God is still talking about going the regular route when, like I just said, when human nature kicks in. I don't care how much you quote unquote love you, even though I don't think that's possible. I don't think love even in that aspect is real. If she sees it out and sees money, or she said, I can leave you and get this amount of money, like, why do guys think she's not going to do that? I just don't understand. Why do guys think it's not going to happen, that she won't be the one to leave you for the bread? I don't understand why guys still don't.
But you didn't answer the question, Ramee, about the prenup.
But what's the question?
Which I know is no. Well, I asked the men up here, will you have, if you are not married, would you get a prenup? And if you are, do you have one or a post prenup?
I'm never getting married in this period. That's just not going to happen. I mean, I just think it's not, I don't think it's worth it. And
children, if you decide to have a child, how is that going to, how would you do that situation?
I'm either going to be a surrogate or this is gonna sound crazy, but it is what it is. Y'all gonna get on. I might go the future route. I just might impregnate a bunch of little females, and the ones who act the best, the ones who on their best behavior, those ones to get my time. Everybody else fuck them.
LAR, what's your answer?
People say, "Oh my God, that's so mean." But then when we look at this mating game and this dating game, the men aren't the savage. That's the crazy part. Like,
well, why are you creating babies that you're not going to even be in their lives?
Exactly.
Because
that's the issue.
Are you serious? She asked me why. That's like asking the female, why are you making babies and you're gonna keep the father out of life? Like,
so why are you going that route? You're going that route. Yeah, the route that y'all complain about and have a problem with. That's a possibility of a lane that you may take.
Well,
don't LAR. Wait, don't jump in LAR.
Yes,
because he likes to come in and save people.
No, I'm gonna answer. Okay, so first of all, rich people can. I'm not saying I'm broke. I'm saying rich niggas can do shit like that. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. And if I do that, it's gonna put me in a position where I have a lot of progeny, and they gotta compete for my time. Like, it's a problem when a guy says, "Oh, I might make a baby, I might not be there." But it's not a problem when on the other end, the guys are not the ones leaving the relationships or leaving the family. It's the woman breaking this shit up. So when the guy says, "Well, you know what? This is the climate we live in there. If I'm with the female and I'm with the child, more than likely she might take the child away from me and go and leave me anyway." Which a lot of guys are going through right now. They can't go see their child. They can't do any of that. So I'm just like, well, shit. They females.
So the purpose of you spreading your seed with different women and have a whole bunch of babies, that's just so you can have your DNA around this world somewhere.
Yeah. Rich nigga
shit. Living in this what if this could have like world, because every situation is this could happen. That like what? You want more people in the world that think like that?
The world would be blessed if I spread my seed.
This is the one thing that I definitely gotta agree with Ramee about, and because I gotta save, right? But it's kind of it's always interesting when you hear a man have the same thought process that's normal to women, and women go, "Hey, you can't be doing that. That's wrong." No, it's what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Dirty Sprite, Spike Lee, white girl, iced tea, fully loaded. Hey, you know good and hell well, if y'all doing this, it should be able to be done to you. You open that Pandora's box, everybody got to get.
They didn't open it up.
Can we explore a different possibility? Y'all need to just be looking for different women. It sounds like you, Ramee.
There is no such thing as a different woman.
There absolutely is.
No, there's not.
All of the women that you're describing, I can't relate.
You say that all women are the same.
Let me say something.
Please stop it with it.
Yeah. So I do think this is a bit hyperbolic. I would say that yes, things are worse in as far as finding a quality mate these days is harder than it ever has been. I will say that, but you can't be surprised if you meet her in the street, then she starts acting like she's from the street. You can't be surprised by that. And I think it is not, I don't think it's a fair apples to apples comparison to say, if you meet somebody at church or along your journey in your life, whatever your career is, whatever your pathway is, if you meet them on your journey and not at the club, there's a better chance that person is going to be a different kind of person than if you met him in the street. Okay. Now
let me use a broader, and after you finish this, Dr. Thunder, which I'll let you finish, then you go into the super chats. Let me just use a bigger brush and a bigger hammer on this. Does anybody know the divorce rate in Nigeria? I'm 2 doors down from Nigeria. Does anybody know the divorce rate? Okay. It's 0.5%. Okay. There's something about the set of incentives that people are in and the cultural milieu people come up in that leads them to do what they do. Okay. Now, you're saying something like that, Dr. Thunder, in a more of a microcosm, but I'm just saying, hey, let's go big and look at this country called Nigeria with a 0.5 divorce rate. And you ask ourselves, well, what the hell's going on there? But anyways, finish your thought, Dr. Thunder, and then do the super chats as well.
Passport bros.
That's a different. It's not about you coming out with your dumbass from the United States going over there thinking it's like, no, you gotta be. Anyways, it's a different thing. And here's one thing. Let me say this: like, people don't understand because they're like, oh, they want to take advantage of feminism as a man. They were like, okay, I don't want to pay. I want to do 50-50. Like, I'm not gonna trick, all that kind of crap. But they want to get a woman from the 1950s. Guess what? The 1950s is your pain, okay? And you got to be okay with that. 100%. Paying 100%.
Let's just real quick. I'm sorry. Let's acknowledge the super chatters, Ike. Of course, Gail dropped his $2. Thank you, Gail. Always supporting, always being such a great moderator. If you guys have not gone over to her channel to subscribe, she's got really thought-provoking streams over there, so go check her out. Also, J Bones, I hope Drake not watching this live. Y'all wild. Thank you. And then the big
Goshen,
yes, the big $100 super chat from Goshen. He says hashtag harem.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
hashtag harem.
Harem, shout out to that.
Well, Dana, you have some pushback on the Dr. Thunder's point, on the point about 5%.
Your point about Nigeria and their non-existent divorce rate, because I think it has to do with the economics, because 40% of the population in Nigeria live below the poverty line. So if you are married, the incentive is I won't be starving or homeless. But we don't know if these women are actually happy.
There are So let's
that's a primary purpose of marriage, historically.
Yeah,
it's not about. Okay, number one, the happiness stuff. Okay, that's irrelevant. Okay, happiness is a little trump card anyone can pull up. No one is happy. No one can even define that stuff, and everyone can be happy when they want to be or say they're not, and use that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Plus,
I don't think I meant happy. The primary purpose, the sense of happy, but yeah.
Gotcha. That the marriage is somehow this guy, everyone is Mr. from, the color purple. That is another kind of thing that people tend to put out there. But I'm actually Nigerian, and I have a massive family from Nigeria all over the world, right? And if you look at the cross section of people, right, whether it be the lower classes and the upper classes, as a matter of fact, just like in the United States, there is less people splitting up the more money you make. So we know that, but really, even if you say all that, the stark difference between 0.5% and that other has to be more attributable to a cultural thing.
Okay.
And then
No,
there's the
I'm not going to
socioeconomics
disagree
and all
with
that
you
kind
on
of stuff.
that. Yeah, I won't disagree with. Definitely it's a cultural thing to where a lot of other countries besides America have a leg up over America. Definitely. But I just think when you certain countries, just take Nigeria and even some Middle Eastern countries, you have to bring a social economic factor into it when it comes to women and women rights, or just their opportunities that they have may not be as they may not have a lot of options as far as American women. Like American women have thousands of options, tons of options compared to women in certain other countries. So marriage in those
100%.
Yeah. So
that's what Ramee says when he says they're free. And that's what I say when I say people work on the incentive structures and the cultural milieu in which they come up. It's not like some kind of weird airy-fairy thing. Oh, I know that it's about quote unquote freedom and quote unquote access and opportunity, which leads people to do certain things which may not be good for the next generations coming up.
Here, let's do some super chats again. We've got one more here, and I will remind you, like, share, subscribe, share the video. Share really helps the show. It really helps the show. We appreciate the active comments, the active chat. So keep that happening. And Technological Chaos, $10 super chat says, do not trust human individual intuition. Trust incentive systems. It will tell you the better probabilities of outcomes almost 90% of the time.
I got it. Don't trust the female. Trust the, what do you say? The incentive system. That's what humans are going to go based off incentives. But it's everybody understands except for black men. Black men still want to live in this fairy tale land. Like they want to really trying to shame women into not taking the incentives, which is not going to happen because it goes against human nature. And that's the thing that just blows my mind, man.
This is the issue.
So
I'm sorry.
Okay, and we'll start with you, and you're going to say what you're going to say, and you're going to give your closing thoughts as well, right? And then we'll kind of go counterclockwise or clockwise again to wrap this up. And here's something else I want to say. I just said something about these guys that they think they're going to be passport bros, but they don't understand that 1950 is 1950. And if you're trying to go to a country that's 1950, there's a responsibility there that you might not like, okay? And cheating, okay, it's the cheating by the women, okay, and the cheating by the men is just kind of part of what marriage is. Over here in West Africa, marriage is not about who cheated on who. It's about, hey, we're going to stick together and we're going to raise these kids right, and we're going to set them up properly so that they can be successful, right? It is not about, you see, whether you want to call it Disney, where you want to call it a certain kind of self-actualization, individualistic, everything's got to be perfect mode of thought, which is encapsulated the West, okay? The fact is, all this kind of utopian perfection has nothing to do with the task to be done when it comes to families. So yes, there's going to be a lot of cheating. Yes, there's going to be a lot of discomfort and so on and so forth. But still, people tend not to get divorced. Anyways, so LAR, and then we'll go around.
As far as just relationships, culture, and American life, this is why most Americans are narcissistic and stupid. Y'all talking about freedom and options. We actually believe that we have the freedom to pursue the illusion of the options that we think we have. We don't live in reality. You're living in 2022. Mentally, you're in the 50s. Mentally, you're 2030. You're looking at people online that ain't even in your same city and states. Are like, I could get that, and you can't deal with the people right in front of you. Thus, people waste their whole lifetime looking at the illusion of the option that they could possibly do better with a life that they ain't even doing nothing with presently. So this, to me, is one of the crux of the issue. But I'm done.
He is done. Dana, final thoughts about the whole broad swath of things that we've said. Okay, and maybe you can tell us who had the better deal. Is it Dr. Thunder's deal with the flat rate? You're gonna go with, you're gonna go with the surrogacy with Ramee. Anyways, final thoughts, Dana.
Well, yeah. So I will go with, it's between you, Ike, and Dr. Thunder. Probably Dr. Thunder, because I don't know if I do well with other country cultures, like if I would fit in, but maybe I will. But depending on what the incentives look like and how much I got to put up with. But Dr. Thunder, he's very fair. And Ramil, everybody check out Pump and Dump. What's the name of the single?
Pump and dump with these.
Yeah. Every time Jack play that, I'm like, first of all, no, I'm saying it as a joke, but it's like, why does he keep playing it? It's like, whatever. But
man, you be bopping your head, you be riding to it.
No, I'm just like, but the fact is that Ramil is through true. He's staying 1,000 him, and I do appreciate that. So you're going to get what you get, and that's it. So I'm definitely Ramil. No, I would never date a Ramil ever, and I never did. But yeah.
You never got pumped and dumped before?
No, unless
stop it, man. No. Come on, man. No. Everybody got pumped and dumped before. All right.
I didn't get dumped, but I got pumped.
Okay. Fair enough. That's cool.
But I mean, yeah, thank you for having me on. Great platform, great vibe, conversation. But as far as the Drake and a hot sauce, and this is an American thing, and I think a lot of people from other countries look at us and laugh because we take the silliest thing with hot sauce. A lot of people believe it and they run with it. However, I think that conversation of the things women will do to get ahead, to gain incentives, tangibles. Yeah, it's a lot of things women will do and how far they will go in eliminating moral ethics, values, all that. So just protect yourself more so than women. Protect yourself because women are vicious.
Mm-hmm. Hey, real quick, we got to do Dana. Super chats again. We got to do some super chats again. Let's see here. We've got Greg O at Jonathan Barronville. Buy a new Ledger Nano X. Let's see here. Also, we've got the big $50 super chat. So the fact that people have to cast responsibility of their happiness to other people, a man or kids, is just pure insanity. Even options as a signifier of happiness, let's see here, has been a failed experiment in U.S. corporate expansion for 50 years, and indecision, drug use, etc. And another big $50 $49.99 iOS user, Jonathan Barronville, with the blank super chat. Thank you very much for the support. Keep in mind that we will take your EBT and we will give you half cash value for your food stamps. All right.
Indeed. Yes, and you're welcome, Dana, anytime. So, Lauren, your final thoughts.
Yeah, final thoughts. Dana summarized it really well, but in terms of like going back to the Drake thing, because this is how it all started, women are gonna do anything, especially if you have money, to get what you have, or at least a fraction of it. And while you're engaging in whatever situation, intercourse, whatever you're doing, stunting with or whatever, know that is on the table. That is going to happen. So you can't really be mad at that. So everyone just protect yourselves. That if that means put hot sauce in the condom, you do that. If that means have them sign an NDA, you do that. Women, I mean, if you're gonna get the bag, be smarter than the young lady who, you know, put this all out on social media. So, you know, women continue to move smart. I'm not condoning to steal people's semen, steal men's semen, but do if you're gonna do it, be smart about it. That's all I'm gonna say.
You are condoning it.
If you're gonna do it, no, you said it and I said it. People are gonna do what they want to do. I'm not here to change hearts and minds.
She's not judging. She's not judging.
I'm not here to change hearts and minds. I'm not gonna do it. So I mean, if you're gonna do it though, be smart. That's all I'm saying. That's my final word.
So if you're gonna steal smart. I got you.
If you're gonna steal smart. That goes for anybody, any criminal out here. If you're gonna steal, be smart about it. Don't get caught. Period.
All right. Yeah. Keeping it technical, keeping it legalistic, and saying, hey, you know, she's being a good lawyer out there. So Ramee, and again, also thank you very much, Lauren, for showing up. Right, you know, on the clutch, or is it in the clutch? Right, whatever it is.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Indeed,
we'll definitely have you both back. This has been really great.
Indeed. What you got, Ramee?
Oh yeah, I don't got much. I'm just be careful out here. It's savage out here. Make sure that everything you're doing start with the end in mind. All right. Anybody you deal with, always picture how it's going to end. Because people out here, they playing for keeps. They're not playing for love. They're not playing for emotions. They're not trying to be your friend. Any of that stuff. And even if that you do come across that, usually that's temporary. All right. That's the times we're living in. And yeah, man, just stay savage out here, man. Keep on, y'all keep pumping double too, man. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm at with it. And Drake is the king of pumping double. I know he is. You just, you know, so
because he stole your dance.
That's right. He stole your dance.
Everybody knows he stole the dance. A month later, come out and do the dance his video, but you know, it's people.
It's the people's
don't
dance.
Remind me. Don't remind me.
It's the people's dance.
It's communism out here. Anyways, so I get to you, Dr. Thunder. We'll be back next week, 4 p.m. Eastern time, ladies and gentlemen. And it might be on Solo TV 84's channel. It might be on Dr. Thunder's channel. I do not know yet. We do not know yet. And catch me on Dr. Thunder, okay, Getting Ish Done. That's Tuesday at, what is it, Dr. Thunder? Is that 9:30 Eastern? Yeah.
That's right. 9:30 p.m. Right? Eastern Standard Time. That's right.
9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, Dr. Thunder, final thoughts, and if you're plugging anything out there, plug away.
Yeah, so let me do a little plugging first. So I just got done interviewing Donovan and Devin Sharp, and that interview on my Conversations with Dr. Thunder series, that video is performing pretty well for my channel. So why don't you go and check it out? It was a really good conversation. We talked about incorporating the feminine voice in a masculine space. And of course, we talked about pygmies. We talked about the sort of incorporation of perspectives from a female, you know, sort of vantage point. And there's some pros and cons to that. We got into a bunch of stuff with that. So that was a really good discussion. I have recently interviewed Melanie King. I also interviewed Keisha Ariel, that's what's playing behind me right now. And a number of other things going on. I've got my live stream program called Thunder's Thoughts, and that's this Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The last show is still up, so you can check that out. The name of that was let's see here, is dating a form of prostitution? That was the name of the show. It was a quite spicy show. That's what the Thunder's Thoughts program is. So if you're into that kind of thing, come check it out, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and Dr. Doug will be chopping it up. And Ike already plugged the show that we do together. And thanks for coming through, everybody. We really appreciate the very generous super chats today. It's been quite supportive. We really appreciate that. My final thought on this is just, yeah, you got to protect yourself. I will say that stuff that he put in there, it was kind of some weak sauce. He needs some ghost pepper hot sauce. You know, that definitely would have killed it. That would have really done it. That mild sauce or whatever, that stuff that he had from what is it, Taco Bell? That stuff ain't the right stuff. You know, he need the ghost pepper joint. So anyhow, well, good luck to him. Maybe spending this into making some money. Maybe he can collaborate with
Christmas lights down.
I got mine all year. I got Christmas lights in like 3
He
of my
said,
rooms.
do not come at his aesthetic. He said, you get, that's his lights, camera action, okay?
If I'm on the same platform as Ramee, I have to say something to him.
I know, it's all good. You know, it is what it is, man. It is.
So anyhow, that's my thoughts.
All right, those are Thunder's thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna wrap this up. Again, it has been a pleasure. It has been an honor for you guys to be out here. We appreciate it, spending this. Is it Sunday? Yeah, this beautiful Sunday evening with us. And with that, we are
in the den of iniquity, vicinity no pretty, calamity fi hit we any moment, what a pity. Tomorrow never certain, what dwells behind the curtain, the face of evil's lurking, with the shifty eyes averting. It's not a steady bubble, that either pop or topple, many will fall and stumble, let the dozers gather rubble. From LA to Colorado, Guinea to Burkina Faso, cannons could reach the towers and the troops will storm the castle. I say, run, come, make we get it. Because the peace that is bestowed upon the meek is overrated. So run, come, make we get it. Calling all your daughters and your sons, we come forget it. I say, run, come, make we get it. Because the peace that is bestowed upon the meek is overrated. Lord, run, come, make we get it. Calling all your daughters and your sons, we come forget it. With the rubble steady rising, and hearts are compromising. Convictions here are stifling, making evil appetizing. The fists are steady forming, and countenance is falling. Defenses are withdrawing, possibilities are falling. In these your circumstances, evil will make advances. Pick up your sword and lances, and be sure to take your stances. Victory is never promised, the battle is upon us. Gather the brave and honest, and the righteous in your corners.